Hey, it's Scott Free from the Scott and Alley Show and the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. Valentine's Day this close. How about some flowers? How about some flowers at 10% off? That's a tough deal to get around Valentine's Day. We're going to make it happen for you with our new sponsor, Floral Fantasy of Elmira. Stay right here. In just a few minutes, as we move through the podcast, I'll tell you how you can get 10% off a beautiful arrangement, or maybe more than one, from Floral Fantasy of Elmira. You got to tell this story about your trick when you're at a restaurant on how people will remember your name. This goes back. Let me explain. You used to be a server many years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, not an uncommon job to start out for people. And you were saying to Quinn and me that never go up to a table and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm going to be your server tonight." Your reasoning was brilliant. Please say why.
Well, I learned it from my boss at Buca di Beppo, actually. He would...
Excuse me?
God bless you.
Who would what now?
Buca di Beppo, one of the best Italian restaurants.
It's really good.
He would say, don't say, "I'm going to be your waiter" or "I'm going to be your server," because his reason was, he's like, "Yeah, no shit. You're the one wearing the uniform. We got it. Like, you got the pad. You got the."
Someone said that to me in that moment. I'd be like, and walk away.
No, he was the best boss. I loved him so much, and I really should go back and visit him. He's like one of those bosses that you always had a good time when he was around, but you also respected him too, because there was something about him.
What was the trick?
The trick was, it's just the alley trick. It's not like a trick for everyone. And I was telling this to one of our coworkers, Sam, the other day, because she called me Alley Cat. And she goes, "Is that okay?" I said, "Yeah, actually, that's what I used to tell people when I would go up to their table, or when I was working at Hazlitt's Winery or Bagley's, that when people would come up to the bar, I would say, 'Hi, my name's Alley, like Alley Cat.' That way you won't forget my name."
Oh, okay, I thought you were going to say, "Hi, I'm Alley Cat." If I was at a restaurant with my family, my mom would have been like, "Oh my God, I have to deal with this for the meal."
Or you can walk in and go, "Hi, I'm Allie. At the end of the meal, I'll give you your tally." Hey, there's another one.
Crickets.
This chick's weird.
You should be like, "Scott, like the
robot.
TP."
Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks. Like toilet paper.
Yeah, the TP. I'm a little rough on your butt.
What? Oh, that's right. Okay, ladies, can I interest you in some drinks? The more the merrier.
What would Quinn's be? Quinn, I'm Quinn.
Is there a brand? Quinn brand?
No, but you could walk up and be like, if it's a table full of ladies, "I'm Quinn, and I'm ready to fill it in."
Oh my God.
If I introduce my full last name,
"I'm Quinn, and I'm going to fill your night with sin." Yeah, it just keeps going.
Ooh.
It goes.
Never mind. That's way better than what I was going to say.
"I'm Quinn. What can I get you for Din Din?"
He's got $1 million.
I was hoping for "I'm Quinn."
I would just text you every night I'm serving and just be like, "Give me an intro."
I know.
"Ladies, with me, you'll always win." Well, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
My fill-it-in's better.
Way better. Way better.
Oh,
so that's my trick. It's an easy trick. And you know what? People at the end, especially at the winery, because at the winery people are super drunk, they would, on their way out the door, "Bye, Alley Cat.
Yeah.
Bye.
By the end of the night, you're like, "God, shut up."
Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much.
It's very similar to a disdain I have for something in our industry when disc jockeys use the name DJ before their name.
Yes.
You're standing behind or in front of the records, you dipshit. I know you're spinning the ones and twos. You don't need to be DJ Wickety Wickety. I get you're the DJ. I hate it. It's like, DJ everybody. We know you're the DJ. You're playing the music, idiot.
DJ Khaled.
Oh.
If you were a DJ, then what would be your DJ name? Like a wiki DJ.
Oh, okay.
not a radio DJ. A wiki.
If
I would
you
be like
were.
Allie.
My name.
Ta-da!
Here I am.
I think I would be Alley Cat. I love
DJ
Alley Cat. Yeah, I love Alley Cat
like
so
that.
much.
Yeah.
And I'll walk up and I'll be like, "See the records behind you? We know you're the fucking DJ."
Or I can tell you what my roller derby name was going to be. Thunder Alley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, my DJ name would have been DJ Flying Dutchman.
Oh,
for sure.
That is definitely, you're doing EDM house music.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
But I have to go to Europe for that because that's like not a thing anymore here, I feel.
Scott Free. No.
Or ever was.
You need to get on Peloton. Jess King on Peloton. I took a house ride with her this morning. This morning I was like, yeah. Scott, what was your?
I don't know. Could you do that again?
That is a song.
Now I have a funny story.
What?
So this reminds me back in the early 90s when I was kind of launching into my career. Hadn't really gotten fully established in radio yet. So I was doing a lot
We're
of
still waiting.
Yeah, I was waiting, yeah.
At this point, Quinn has surpassed you.
Really? It's a miracle we have a show. You don't know you're a DJ. It's incredible.
I do. Quinn doesn't.
Oh, that's right. Quinn doesn't. He's just a producer. He doesn't know.
Jealous. Flying Dutchman.
So this was very early in my career, and I had to do a lot of nightclub spinning, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I had a girlfriend that got me one of those kind of washed out blue jean jackets, and it was a very sweet gift at the time. She used, remember bubble paint?
Yes, puffy paint.
Puffy paint. She puffy painted on the back of it, DJ Scott Free, and I'd wear the jacket.
I want that.
Is it bedazzled?
I don't know where I think the jacket's gone. Yeah.
No, that would be awesome.
It was very 1991.
No, that honestly, I feel like that's back in. So did she have the iron on first, or was it all freehand?
Oh, God, I don't remember. I mean, it's so many years later, but I just remember
You just
it and I
wore
wore
it.
it. I did.
I want that. I want to have a good crop one, and for it to say like Allie Payne on the back. I know you guys think I'm weird.
Alley Cat.
Or Alley Cat. Yes, Thunder Alley.
Thunder Alley.
Because I have so much monogrammed. I just got a new pair of pajamas from Etsy, actually 2 new pairs. And one of them on the back, real big in gold, Allie. I don't know who needs to know my name when I'm sleeping.
I was going to say, you're laying on yourself. I mean, what do you
Does Zach not remember your name?
Oh, good. When she rolls over, I know who she is.
Right? I love it, though. Everything is monogrammed. My reusable shopping bag, anything that I have some like whiskey glasses that my parents got me for Christmas. They don't know it's for whiskey. Anyway. Yes,
They do.
Yeah, probably. But then my mom got matching whiskey glasses for Zach. And she was like, so
Is
Zach.
his name on it?
Just a Z. Oh. And so Zach's like, I don't care about my initials like you care about our initials. I love them. Anyway, speaking of,
Yeah.
do you remember the moment you decided you wanted to work in radio?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I have stories.
I still don't know if I want to. But.
I knew that answer was coming. I was waiting for that.
Quinn has yet to find himself.
Okay, give me the story.
The story goes back to the end of 1989, would have been the end of the school year of 1989, the year I was graduating, right? Mm-hmm. And it was up in Buffalo. And what was then Eastern Hills Mall, which was at the time, booming mall and all that. Spent a lot of time there as a kid. Mm-hmm. And Kiss 98.5, which is still on the air in Buffalo. I don't know.
Kiss 98.5.
I don't know if they have anybody live anymore, but they're still on the air. Well, the afternoon guy, Mike McGowan, who's still a friend of mine to this day, was doing a live broadcast. What they had done was they took literally the entire parking lot. Now, if you've ever been in Buffalo, driven on Transit Road, it's a huge road. I mean, it's massive. And they put multiple car dealerships up there, and they did a massive used car sale. It is so 1989, 1990 radio. Mm-hmm. He was broadcasting live, and the station had a pretty cool remote vehicle. Remotes are what we call, when we go out. And it was a big Winnebago with like what looked like a studio in it. So the jock could be in or it could be out, whatever, or invite people into the Winnebago, come see the Winnebago. Now that I think about that, do you want to come into the Winnebago? It was a much more innocent time because they make bad pornos about that now. Okay. So, so anyway, there
was candy involved.
Oh yeah. So I went up to Mike and Mike was,
van.
He was, he was very popular on the air at that time. Like he was the guy. Mm-hmm. And I had asked him, I go, how do you get into this? And he goes, do you have any talents?
No.
Yeah, I was waiting. One of you two a-holes. I knew it.
It was too easy. I didn't even bother.
Easy, so you gave it to the one that doesn't know she's a DJ.
I at least waited a moment before I said no.
Barely.
It was too easy. I love that you had to check.
I looked at Quinn. I was like, go
I knew it was coming from somewhere.
I felt the look.
One of these two directions right there. So I go, well, I do impressions. And he goes, oh, who do you do? Well, at the time, I mean, I told him I do Kermit the Frog, and at the time, it was WCW was very popular. So it was at the time when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Savage had a big thing going on, and I think we were close to one of the pay-per-views back in the day. And he goes, "Well, let me hear it." So I did my impression of Hogan. He goes, "Oh, you're coming on the air." He goes, "We're gonna sell some cars that Hulk Hogan just showed up," and of course I jump into, "What you gonna do, brother, when you got a Corsica sitting over here for $5,999. You say the prayers, you do the training, you fill out a credit app, and that car is yours." Okay, so love it, right?
I do. I wish that we would do that commercial now. I mean, that'll get somebody's attention.
So 20 minutes later.
And by the way, and that's exactly why I want Scott and I to do Hulk Hogan and Randy Man Savage's Halloween costumes.
There you go. 20 minutes later, Randy Savage shows up. "Ooh, yeah, dig it. What we got over here is a Chevrolet Corvette. Ooh, yeah, snap into that seat." And, whatever. So I don't remember what I said.
Snap into that Slim Jim.
That's right. So, we did it, and it became really kind of funny. He goes, "Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you come on down, tour the radio station, and, we'll see what happens from there." So I get... it was a couple weeks later, I get down to the radio station and did the tour. My buddy Rob was with me, who I've known for so many years, and I know he'd still remember this story. So we get there, and ironically, as I'm meeting everybody in the radio station...
You're like, this is what I want to do.
Well, that happened shortly after. One of the people that I met was a gentleman by the name of Rich Van Slyke. Now, Rich Van Slyke is what we call in this industry a production director who either does commercials or builds lots of sonic things for what you hear on the air. And he was very, very talented. He is still very, very talented. And he was the production director up there. And I look at him and I go, "Your name is very familiar." And he goes, "Oh, Van Slyke?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "We used to have pharmacies in the Buffalo area. There was a chain of pharmacies called Van Slyke Pharmacies."
Oh, okay.
And we have one in Corning that's the independently owned Corning Pharmacy on Market Street, which is that the name of it?
Market Street Apothecary?
Yeah, I think that's it. Right.
Or there's Gerald's. Gerald's is like a local.
Think of a Gerald's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go, "I know that you guys have pharmacies because my uncle and my aunt are Van Slyke's. It's not a common name." And he goes, "Really?" Well, we figured out that we had never met, but his father was my uncle's father's father. So we had this relationship that we never really knew. Like we were, I don't know, what is that, like third cousins or something?
Second or third cousins.
Something like that. But we never knew that family, really that side of it. We knew part of it, but not all of it. Well, we ended up hitting it off and talking and all that stuff. And he goes, "Hey, listen," he goes, I need some help." And I'm like, "Okay.
This is the moment."
And he goes, "Would you want to start as an intern and kind of learn and do things?" Well, that was it right there. I'm like, yes, because I had seen the energy. Radio back in those days, you were live 24/7. There was someone in the building or multiple people in the building from midnight to midnight. I mean, and it was always different. There was so much to see.
So our work schedule.
Yes. That's exactly right.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
No, and it was just so much energy, and it caught me up, and I'm like, "Oh, this might shock you." Here we go. I'm going to start pitching. See who hits it. Watch. I was never really that popular in school.
Shocker.
Yeah. And
Again, it was too easy.
Or maybe I was and I didn't realize it, but I was never that one that was like, I never felt popular. But I'm like, this is a cool way to kind of...
I saw your school pictures. You weren't.
Strike me as a chameleon. And what I mean by that is you could enter any friend group. Was that you?
Yes,
Yeah.
except for the super jocks, which they were their own kind of clique, and but it turns out at reunions years later, you realize they're just as normal as you are, right? Same insecurities, just different places. So I started there, and I immersed myself in that job and learned a ton for a while. Had the chance when I worked years later in Cleveland, before you could sit in one location and send a show out anywhere in the country, you used to have to still get to a control room, and I actually went up and did some shifts for some weekend shifts in Buffalo, which was a fun return home, all like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was a lot of fun. It was pretty wild. So that's exactly
the transitional moment. Your family member who you didn't know was your family member.
I had no clue.
That's crazy.
And I'm still friends with all these people today. In fact, Mike McGowan was going to the Bills game when they were playing Miami in that first playoff game, and he was like, "Are you coming up?" I'm like, "I can't. It's this pain in my ass's birthday party known as Allie Payne," and that's why I was at your birthday party and not in Buffalo that weekend.
Oh, well, I'm
because of
sorry.
you, Miss, I'm going to crack more snips at you.
And he had to clean his sheets.
And I had to clean my sheets.
Yeah, right. You were at my birthday party for like an hour, and then you're like,
I was trying to give you an update on the Bills game, and TJ just goes, "Oh, he's gone." I was like, "What do you mean he's gone?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you went. I'm probably watching the Bills game."
He went to go clean his sheets.
I had to do the sheets and watch the Bills
You
game.
haven't washed your sheets in like 3 months, and all of a sudden my birthday
It has to be on a Saturday.
On a Sunday.
I got to do it this weekend because the last time I did it was your party weekend.
How many weeks ago? Oh,
like
yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I got to do it.
That's good enough.
Got to do it.
Mine was the moment that I'm like, yeah, I want to be in this. It wasn't when I was pretending to have a radio show with my one girlfriend and our British accents in the car. Like, that was kind of like how it started. But then there was actually a couple of things that had happened. But one of them I remember very vividly. I was an intern. So I was already in the industry.
Yeah.
But, you're not sure, right? So I was interning for Woody and the Wake Up Call. And I was getting to the point where my internship was over. Well, my mentor... so they have the morning show, and then after that is the midday guy. And the midday guy ended up being my mentor and also my boss, and his name was John Boy Crenshaw. And so I said, "Hey, John Boy, it was so good working with you. Today's my last day." And he was like, "Huh, I actually really liked you." And so it was that, like, okay, do you want to like stick around? How about like pursuing this more? I'm like, maybe there's something. Maybe there's something here. And he kind of like put those little nuggets in my world early on in my career, because I remember one time after he did hire me for an actual position, not an internship, that when he hired me to do it's called board opping. So we have a guy who's on location.
Listen close to this, Quinn. This may happen for you.
He was at, I believe it was Kenny Chesney. I don't remember, but he was at a Kenny Chesney concert, and I was running everything back in the studio, and I screwed it up royally. So one of these other little nuggets that John Boy Crenshaw had put into my life was he came back, I don't know, a couple days later, and he was like, "Yes, you made some mistakes, some pretty big ones, but that's okay. Like, we're going to get through it." And he said to me later, he goes, "A lot of people wanted me to fire you." But oh my God. Yeah, because I did such a terrible job. But then he said, there was something. I saw something in you. I knew that you were going to be greater later. So it was those two things. It was actually somebody else kind of guiding me.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty young in this. I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. This is one of those things where I'm like,
God, I was fresh out of high school. I mean,
right.
I'm right there with you.
Right. So I almost needed somebody to say, you got something. Okay, don't quit this. This is okay.
Well, I'm glad somebody in your career told you at one time. I got to get back at you. You laid me out twice already in this podcast.
Just in this podcast.
And hold on to that title of
Quinn,
intern.
the moment. Not yet?
Long-term career-wise, I'm not sure. But I'll tell you how...
And that's okay.
I'll tell you how I heard about the job.
Okay.
So
us bitching about it on the air that we needed help.
Actually, I had. I may have said I had listened to you. I had never listened to your show before.
I don't know if you said that you did or didn't.
Well, I didn't. So there's the truth. But I was working at the news station at the time, and a friend of mine who used to work here, left the news station first to come work here, and she told me Scott and Allie are looking for someone to be a more involved producer than what we already had. Mm-hmm. Like being on air and stuff like that, occasionally, and things like and some other stuff that I do around here. So because of that, and also it was a combination of like, okay, I've been at the news for 2 years now, and I know that if this one person doesn't leave, like there's no going up anymore from where I was at, unless someone left the company. And so I was like, I can't wait for someone to just leave. And turns out they left.
Oh, shoot.
But it was like a year after I was here.
Yeah.
In your defense, is one of the reasons you didn't listen to the show beforehand was because your schedule was complete opposite of what this show is.
Yes, my schedule was 3 to midnight.
Yeah. I don't expect you to listen at that point.
No.
All right, you were sleeping.
I was unconscious every time you guys are talking.
Did
That's
Scott
right.
just kick you under the table to tell you, so you made to make sure you said that? Because you were sleeping.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll bail you out. I'll bail you out of this. Made it seem like we just hired somebody off the street. Well, you not open your mouth? Come on, you're ours.
I was super excited though the day that because I had the most informal meeting with you guys. It was my friend Christina was just like, "Hey, do you just want to meet Scott and Allie and see like what they think of you, what you think of them?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I came into the studio and we talked for like an hour. I think you guys had stuff to do that day, and then we talked about like I'm like, "Oh yeah, if I do this, I already have ideas and stuff like that of stuff we could do."
We always
like
have
this
something to
podcast.
do.
Yeah. It's always something.
So
There's always something to do.
So
So you're not sure.
long term, I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes, but I'm enjoying it so far, for sure.
That's a very fair answer too, because
I mean, it's 2 years versus 17. Well, 17 for you.
Oh, well, it's going to be 18 in June for me. Here.
Total, I mean.
The total all over radio?
Yeah.
Oh, God, do the math. From when I started as an intern at Kiss in the middle of 1989, the end
100.
of the school year till now, yeah. And I've seen a lot of changes, man, let me tell you. To the point where it's amazing we have 3 people that work in this building together because a lot of radio stations don't have anybody in the building.
Right, for as long as we have.
Yeah.
That would make me so bored if like there was no one to chat with. Like, if I was the only one in the building. That's why I enjoy what we have.
It's nice once in a while, not all the time.
It
Right.
depends on the person. We had a
that
coworker.
too.
We had a
That's
coworker who loved his solo shift. He did not want to talk to anybody else.
I think it's easier to talk to people like who are physically here.
Yes.
Obviously, you're talking to an audience,
Of course,
but
sure.
it's easier to like bounce off each other than be like the sole person to provide the entertainment or information.
Well,
for me at least.
Since this is the Not for Air podcast, and sometimes we bill it as though we bring you behind the scenes, I will tell you one of the tricks that you learn about doing a good radio show, you're not broadcasting, hey, everybody. It's not everybody. You got to think of it like you're talking to one person or a very small, tight group of your friends. And people then feel included. And that's just a little secret of how it works. That's what it is.
Yeah. You treat every conversation as if you're at a party.
Yeah.
And somebody's just coming into the conversation and that you just blend them right in.
I mean, now Allie, when she goes to a party, silence, where's the stage? And starts talking to everybody. But,
I'm here.
let's do the show.
Let's stop right here because I want to find out who's more likely to get hit by a train next.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one get out of the doghouse special and perfect. We'll go with the delivery on that. Absolutely. Okay. And that's a great price. And 10% off? Yeah? Because of Scott and Allie Not for Air? Oh, awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. Hey, I was just ordering my Valentine's Day special. It's Scott Free from the Scott and Allie Show and the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. So our friends at Floral Fantasy of Elmira have a great deal for you. They want to get you 10% off your Valentine's order. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is call them and mention the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Now, they have lots of great specials.
You can choose your Valentine's Day special bouquets or the Florist Choice bouquets ranging from $40 to $50, the deluxe bouquets ranging from $60 to $70, or go premium because you know she's worth it, $80 to $90. If you'd like to see some of the examples, check them out on Facebook at Floral Fantasy or online at floralfantasyflorist.com. Now, to get the 10% discount, when you've chosen what you want, you call 607-732-3536. That's 607-732-3536. Make sure to mention the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Oh, they'll probably give it to you if you just say Scott and Allie, but the Not for Air podcast Podcast guarantees 10% off now until February 7th. And don't forget to stop in and see him at 403 South Main Street in Elmira. Check out their gift shop with special occasion cards, hand-knitted towels, Hall's candies, Avon products, plush bears, balloons, all the trinkets you can imagine to make whatever occasion even more special. Floral Fantasy in Elmira. 10% off right now until February 7th for Valentine's Day. Just remember, mention Scott and Allie, not for air. Okay, before we find out who's going to be hit by a train, I remember last week you saying something you wanted to talk about Gordon. Now, for those that don't know, recap, there's a whole episode with Gordon a few podcasts back. We've talked about Gordon many times. Gordon's a friend of mine, also happens to live downstairs in my house. And in the in-law suite, we made it into an apartment, and he's become like family, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes too much family, like, stay down there. I need a few minutes alone. But I love him, you know? I do. I love him.
Lock the bedroom door. That's all I got to say. Now, there was a listener who was very interested in Gordon. And so I kind of, pass along the information. But then there's another person that is a potential for Gordon.
Doesn't even need Tinder anymore.
No, he's deleted all his dating apps. I do want to point that out.
He did?
I think it was a wise move for him. He goes, Scotty, you were right. He calls me Scotty. He goes, Scotty, you were right.
Scotty too hotty.
He goes, everybody on these damn dating profiles are a bunch of chicks that want this long-term relationship, but you come to find out they're all a bunch of messed up chicks with baggage. I'm like,
everyone has baggage.
It's the thrill of the chase that the girls are looking for on these sites. Not everyone. You might find an occasional gem in the pile of rocks, but
I mean, I was on those apps at one point. Now, here's the other person. There was somebody that Scott and I were talking to at a live broadcast, and Scott really wanted to hook up Gordon with this person.
And my reasons are so clear. It
just so happened at the end of at this live broadcast, I had met her multiple times before. And when you just like find somebody that you click with like as a friend, this is me and this person. So I usually do not give my phone number out very often, but I gave it to her. I was like, want to go have coffee? And so Scott was like, we should hook her up with Gordon. Yeah.
Well, she had asked. She goes,
was he drunk?
I remember that we were at a live broadcast at a gym, and she had specifically asked, who do you guys know that's single that is not a complete disaster? I remember this.
And Gordon sent me a message because obviously you went home and talked to him, and he said, the text message said, matchmaker, make me a match. Who's the girl that Scott was talking to? Did
it genuinely say the matchmaker bit?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You let that get to your head, didn't you?
I was loving it.
She did.
And then she texted me and she goes, oh my gosh. It was a screenshot of Gordon's social media. Oh, this must be the Gordon you were talking about. Our phones are listening because all of a sudden this comes up as a friend suggestion a lot. And I said, yes, that is him. Here's my thing. I'm not going to pass along her phone number, though. If he finds her and she finds him, fine, but I'm not doing it. I passed along the listener's name and number. That's fine.
But you realize the person we're talking about, not the listener, the other person.
The person from the live broadcast.
Is a far better match for Gordon, both in age. I don't know anything about the listener, so I'm not going to say anything,
right?
Because I don't know anything about her personal life, but I do know enough about our person from the live broadcast, much closer in age.
Yes.
Absolutely does not need to depend on a soul. She is a 100% independent, well-incomed woman with a lot of drive, who I also believe would not just crumble and suddenly be like, I got to be with you every 5 seconds of the day. Like, she's got her life.
Oh, she has 2 jobs, actually.
She's put together. Well,
she owns her own business.
Yeah.
And she has a full-time, very successful profession.
But also fun and smart, and just you can see the brightness in someone's face. No kids, as far as I know.
No.
Dog is fine. But see, that's the thing. I think the reason they'd be a good match is because Gordon does have a good job.
Yes.
I think what Gordon needs is Gordon when he's alone and alone to his own devices. That's where the problem comes in. When he was out driving, because he drives a little more local now, a little more regional, so he gets to be home, nightly and on the weekends, but it's a more stable job around here because the over the road, he'll tell you, was just killing him.
Yep.
So the thing about it is when Gordon was over the road, he would have a week where he could make $15,000 and then the next week make $1,200. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit either way, but not too much. Well, when he made those big paychecks, that's when the Amazon packages would come. That's when everything was happening. And, he was alone in the truck. He was single and it was like, well, I'll buy this. I'll do that. I'll buy this. His motorcycle and stuff like that. He's talking about upgrading a motorcycle. I almost feel like a Gordon doesn't need someone to parent him, needs that strong woman to go, you know what? Why don't you hold off on that a little bit? Because it doesn't sink in if Terry and I do it. Terry
Quinn,
and I...
are you hearing this?
You're taking it the wrong way. You're taking it as though you've already blocked out. I said he doesn't need a parent. He needs a partner to go, are you sure that's what you should really do? Because if I say it to Gordon, you don't need to trade in your motorcycle you've ridden 7 times for a more expensive motorcycle, even though you think this one's too small. Why don't you keep your payments where they are or pay it off? Get rid of it then or just sell it. Do something, there's other options as opposed to adding more to your monthly payout, but it doesn't sink in me.
I have 2 things about that. The first thing that I said to her is, are you sure that you want to hear Scott Free's booming voice up above because Gordon lives below Scott while you're getting busy? And I
don't stand upstairs where you hear
your voice.
Hit it, Gordon, hit it. Yeah. I don't do that. That's not what's happening.
Your voice carries, though.
What am I yelling at the kids? Gavin!
Yes, exactly. So all of a sudden you're yelling at Gavin and she hears what's going on downstairs while they're trying to make out. So that was
bang at her place.
That was my first thing. I think that the maturity is a little imbalanced between these two people.
That's in every relationship.
And that's where I think Scott's like, you should just let them figure it out. Where I am preventing them from figuring it out.
Well, it's good you should probably know the truth now.
What?
I forgot my phone at that broadcast after we all left.
Yeah.
I had to go back.
Yeah.
Gordon already has her phone.
Oh, I knew it.
What? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So it's out of your hands.
You're kidding me.
It's out of your hands.
That's amazing. You left your phone there on purpose.
No, I got home and I'm like, son of a bitch.
You
and I had to turn around and go back. Yep.
She has not said anything about this.
You feel so powerless right now.
Because I even said, just in case Allie doesn't, get you the information you guys need.
Because you knew I wouldn't.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh my God, you just blew up my world.
Yep. I'm going to blow it again for you, too.
Are they?
Why? Did they go on a date?
She might be pregnant.
That's not true.
No, I know that. Actually, everything I just told you is bullshit. I did forget my phone, but I didn't get her phone.
I really wish you did. No,
come on, that was great. Watching Allie do that, come on.
I wish it was real.
That's what you get for singing me twice at the beginning of the podcast.
He was like, she might be pregnant. I'm like, no way. No way.
No.
I don't think those swimmers of Gordon's are working anymore.
Oh my God.
He's a little bit older. Well, yours still worked, so
Listen, if there's an apocalyptic event, I'm pretty sure I could help repopulate still.
Number 3. I'm keeping tally over here,
That'd
guys.
be number 4.
Oh,
4? Really good. Good tally.
Years
Which of my kids did you forget? Which one this time?
No. I meant
because I knew you'd remember Gavin when you said that would be number 3. Which of the other 2 did you forget? Don't bullshit me.
No, I meant like 3 as zingers, not kids.
Oh. I thought it was kids. I thought it was kids.
Okay, let's go on to who's more likely to.
Okay, let's do it.
Who's more likely to get hit by a train? Me, Scott, or Quinn?
I don't know. I got hit by a bus 4 times in this podcast, so.
I don't think we're all that careless.
I agree with you.
Who would be hanging out by a train more? I feel
probably me.
Quinn. Yeah, I think so.
I used to ride trains.
I love trains, though. I love them.
To cruise and not be in charge of the vehicle.
Dude, if we had the rail system like Europe and I could sit with my laptop and do some work and ride to Buffalo to see my family, that'd be it. Yeah.
Are you guys thinking of the same trains that I'm thinking of?
Are you talking a freight train or are you talking a passenger
Hogwarts
train?
Express?
I don't know because I've never seen Harry Potter.
Well, it's okay.
But
it's a train. I don't know.
I'm thinking of like, when like people would jump trains. Like they would jump on
hobos.
Yes.
Is that offensive?
Hobo. You've got to set these up with all the details.
Well, train is train.
So basically you're asking who's the most likely to be a hobo. Who's going to be homeless and just travel the world?
Well, I don't know. Look at Allie. She looks kind of homeless right now.
Yeah, based on my looks, me. Based on Quinn's pay, him.
Word.
So why would we be
real?
It's no holds barred today.
I got really good sleep last night. Like 8 hours.
Damn, I wish you'd stay up for 24 hours before the tapings. Why would we be in a rail yard? I'm almost 52 years old. What do I have the need to go to a rail yard and
dive in podcast?
He's done.
The light behind your camera behind it is getting brighter.
I don't know why we would be there. I just made it up.
I thought you were just talking like, we're going to take the train today. And I stepped onto like a subway maybe in New York City and I accidentally fell off the platform. No, straight up. Oh no, you have no home. You have no family. You have no belongings or job or money. And the only way you can transport is illegally onto some streetcar.
Boxcars. So if you were talking, this is why the details are in the devil is the detail.
With the knapsack.
Yes, I'm picturing Scott just walking with a long stick and a handkerchief, and he's got
scruffy beard,
and he's got a couple hot dogs in there because Scott always has hot dogs.
He always has hot dogs.
I don't know what is with Scott and hot dogs.
I like the hot dogs. All right.
I mean, if there's one food left on this earth for Scott to eat,
I could live off hot dogs.
It's hot dogs. He's like, yeah, pig buttholes. That's what I want.
Okay.
So
in that
he
case,
could be on death row, and they could be like, "What do you want for your last meal?" Hot dogs. But they got to be the good ones. They got to be the snappers. That's exactly what he says every time we get hot dogs. Allie, make sure you get the good ones. And so last time I said, you buy them then. I'm not buying hot dogs.
Can we go back to the train?
If that's the description, I think you. Because you're like the person who's always like, I want to do a new thing.
Yes,
and I think one of your new things is
Quinn, shoot me on video. Shoot me on video dying.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be you going like, guys, I need to take a week off. I'm going to go try hoboing.
Yes! So from beekeeping to hoboing.
So I want to just be clear on this. So it's not just crossing a set of railroad tracks like we'd be walking to a convenience store. People can't see it. We actually have train tracks just outside of this building. And, you could run across to the convenience store.
Yeah.
No. Allie takes us all the way to the rail yard where there's 8 sets of tracks and trains moving nonstop.
But it could be
it's like Frogger, but
yeah, right.
You guys, it could be in any scenario that you want. It's your life. It's just a matter of who do you think in your own brain would get hit by a train?
You. Because here would be Allie. Hold on a second. She'd be up, walking around. Train's coming. She's in her phone editing the video that she just took of something rather.
She's like, Sonia did not just say that to me.
Doing this, and she'd be looking at the train going, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Just hold on. I'm
Don't
almost
you know
done.
who I am?
It's uploading now. And then a TikTok from the Chemung County SPCA comes blaring across the phone with this dog, and then it's boom, and she's dead. Yeah. You're the one.
I honestly can say the 2 words that I say the most in this life is hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I have been told this so many times.
Oh my God.
With the hand. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm doing
That's
something.
the one.
Sometimes,
Hold on.
I think there was one time I even walked in. I think you assumed I wanted something from you, and you were like, "Hold on." I was like, "I'm here to grab my laptop."
Wait, it's gotten bad. She's now talking to herself. And
what happened?
I've noticed it multiple times recently where we'll be in the studio, Quinn will be back in his studio, and all of a sudden you'll read something, Def Cam Promotions, this and that. What? And I'm looking at you
I used to never do this.
No, the shit's coming out loud now. You're not reading anymore quiet to yourself. Now you're saying things and I think you're talking to me. And then, hold on. So, yeah.
This happened today because I was responding out loud to a social media comment.
Yeah.
And Scott goes...
And I thought she was making a comment to me. It was something like,
You're like, what's wrong? I was like, oh, nothing. Never mind. I'm I'm just talking to somebody on social media in my brain.
This is stage one of your mind going. I'm telling you. Stage one.
Do you guys want one more?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay.
One more.
Who's more likely to befriend a billionaire? Quinn, Scott, or me?
I think we've all met some famous people.
Allie's going to be the one, and I'm going to be the one behind her all the time going, do you think he'd give me a loan? Yeah, it'll be Allie.
There's a part of me, though, that says Quinn, because your parents seem to rub elbows with what and I perceive as like ritzier people. And so I think Quinn would be the person.
I don't know a billionaire, if people are already wondering.
Do you know a millionaire?
Bet you do.
I've met maybe a millionaire.
See? And that millionaire could lead to a billionaire. I think that your
Very
friend.
aggressive.
I think you're.
Well, I think we all met. You've met some famous people.
Yeah, but
not making billions
no,
Well, millions.
not to that level.
or millions.
I still think it would
Is
be
Shaggy a millionaire?
Doubt it.
The only time that it would happen for me is I would be emceeing an event. Okay, this is a great example. I might have actually met a billionaire and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I got asked.
Billionaires are always not famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll explain then. I got asked to MC an event at Corning Museum of Glass. This was a whole different category of people that I had never even seen any of these people in the Twin Tiers. But the one guy came up to me and he was like, hey, I just, wanted to say you did a good job tonight, whatever.
Was it
then
Mr. Corning?
Here's
$500,000.
I did meet, okay. That night, maybe it is me. That night,
You already met him.
I met the CFO of Corning Museum of Glass. Do you think they're a billionaire?
No, I think they're probably close to a millionaire, if not a millionaire already.
Okay, so it's going to be me then. Because
I agree.
I had talked to a guy that night, and he came up, and he was just like, hey, I wanted to say you did a great job, whatever. So then we get in conversation. He tells me where he lives, and I was like, oh, that guy's got money. And he was the nicest, most humble human being I've ever met.
I think it's also you because of the three of us, you're the most outgoing. So you're more likely to meet. You meet more people on average than we do.
I do a lot more social things.
Yeah.
Yes, like if I'm jam packing every single weekend with stuff.
I can't live like that.
It's tiring for me too.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Oh, these billionaires I'm running into. Oh, so annoying.
Oh, I can't do anymore. That's enough of that.
All right, good. Me. I wonder if then maybe they'll go, you know what? We would like to gift you. Thank you for.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just saw a TikTok where, and apparently there's proof of this. There was a guy who saw like this rapper that I have no idea who they are, but they make a lot of money. And this kid goes, hey, can you pay for my college tuition? Just said it out loud to him.
And he did.
And he just goes, I probably can. How much is it? And then he's like, we gave a number, and then he's like, yeah, now I'm done with college. And he paid for all of it.
Oh, wow.
You know who else does this too? I think Nicki Minaj. She
cool.
also will.
Oh, when she's not telling you how to eat her ass?
Yeah, yes. But she also does a lot of good stuff. See, we always hear about Taylor Swift. Nicki Minaj will find people on her social who comment on certain things, and she'll give them money for college. But I think it has to be a college thing. I think that's what she specifically.
It's respectable, though.
Totally.
I mean, look, would I love a millionaire to come in and be like, hey, thanks for dinner that you cooked me. I'm going to pay off your house. Yeah, but the college thing is very different. That's very generous.
I think Denzel Washington did that for Chadwick Boseman.
Really?
What did he do? Pay off his college?
No, he paid for his college or acting school, or I don't know what it was, but he paid like in full, gave all tuition to him.
So what you're saying is Denzel's into short-term investments.
Oh my god. I knew you were going to go there.
I know. I wanted to say something, but I was like, I'm not going to say this.
Well, there was nothing mean. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you're laughing. You're the sicko.
I thought it. You said it.
It's always that way.
Yes.
One of us thinks it, the other says it.
Okay, the next week, here's your next who's more likely to attend and participate in a swingers party.
Okay. I know. Well, we all know the answer.
Come on.